Welcome to Oaks and Dreams. My name's Mallory and welcome to my garden, or the little bit that I have right now. Over here on my left is my current raised garden bed. It's the one that I've used all summer and spring. But as you can see, we have quite a few metal raised garden beds behind me, and my husband and I are working on the process to expand this garden and create it something of my dreams. As you can see, we're working with kind of a smaller area. Probably about 25 by 30 is about the area that we are working with. These are raised garden beds that are 12 inches high. These are 3 by, I believe, I think they're 6 foot. We are going to show you how we prep this garden and we start from scratch. I'm hoping to bring along the gardening stuff that I've learned over the last 3 years, as well as get to learn so much more. Starting this journey here at this point will allow you guys to also start your journey and see kind of where you begin and what it looks like in the future. So to get started, I am in Northwest Florida. We are in Zone 9A. Zone 9A is a lot of heat, humidity during the summer, but we can also have some pretty cold, windy winters. It's kind of hit or miss. It's actually middle of October right now and it's like 50 degrees out here, which is not our norm. Typically we don't get this kind of colder weather till, hit or miss here in November, December, and more so January after. Oftentimes I've been seeing wearing shorts on Christmas Day. But here, we're gonna get started with this garden today. First thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna move the metal beds out of the way. And then we're gonna kind of grade it out a little bit. My goal is to put a protective liner onto the ground so we can prevent weeds from coming up. So that's my first thing. Eventually we're gonna take out this old garden bed and we're gonna put some of these metal garden beds over here as well. So come along for the process. I forgot to get gloves. I'll be right back. Ta-da! Got gloves. Whew, let's keep going. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of leveling out the land as much as I can. It's not really too unlevel at this point. So I'm pulling up as many of the weeds as I can before I lay the fabric down, because that will help just future weeds from coming up. What I have here next is some lawn fabric. Okay, I'm not sponsored by these people. This is just something I picked up at the local big box store. But I'm going to show you how I pin it down. This is a 3-foot by 100 roll. I'm only about, like I said earlier, maybe about 30 feet as far down as I want to go on this side. And then my beds are 6 feet wide. So I'm going to do 2 rows of this 3-foot wide fabric, and that should prevent anything from coming up into my beds. Since I'm working on ground level, let's see if I can lower you down a bit. These are some landscaping pins that I'm going to use. I'm just going to put one in the fabric right now to keep it held still, and then we can add more once I get it exactly where I want to get it. Here I am rolling it back up, because once I had it laid out, I realized I really need to do some more weeding on this ground to make it a little bit flatter so I can actually lay this properly. So let's do another take. So you're gonna see me pick my hand a little bit. When in doubt, you can always pick these roots. Look at those root balls. I wasn't gonna be able to pull these up with the hoe. I'm not that strong, so I can just do them by hand. It's gonna be fine. All right, so we're back. All right, so I've tilled out and leveled this the best that I could and got as many roots and weeds and things that I could to lay this fabric down. It's getting a little hot out here. Just got my cap on because, you know, bad hair day. But anyways, I'm gonna go 3 feet off of my fence line, so there's room to get around with all the little lawn equipment things that my husband has. So okay, just went inside to change. Welcome to Florida. Fabric laid out. And I'm just going to continue to put some pins down in these to keep it firm. And then I will start to just put some of my metal beds back and see what it kind of looks like. I did get some stones that I will bring here in a little bit that will help to level the beds even more if once we get it on here it doesn't look level. But we will level them, line them up, get the tape measure out, make sure everything looks appropriate, and then we'll kind of set them how we want them. Go from there. Okay, sorry, my phone died on the last video recording. So I'm just gonna walk out here. I'm gonna show you guys what I have done thus far. Let's see if we can turn this around. Okay, so I have now the first 5 beds that are laid out. So remember, we tilled up that land, we put down the fabric, and now I've just laid them on top. I've done some measuring to get them as even as possible as what our plans are. But I will, before we do the final touches and confirm that those are the spots, my husband will come out here and help me. So we still have the old raised bed for now. I will be tearing that down, or my husband will be, and then we'll place the other 3 over here. We're gonna do the same process at that point. There isn't any fabric laid underneath of this bed, and I already had issues with weeds coming through, weeds coming through, and so it's been a constant of picking through. So we will go from there. As you can see, this oak tree here, it is not the most shaded oak tree. It's a different type than the rest that you see around here. But it does give some shade to the property in this area. Right now you're seeing most of the shade come from the trees that are still behind me. Once high noon hits, and then from like noon to around 4 o'clock or so, there is sun in this area. So that is where we will be. Thanks for joining, tagging along for the ride. Please like and subscribe if you want to continue to follow this process of creating a raised bed garden. Thank you.